ta'ala. I praise Him, adore Him, and submit to Him based on what He wills, the most beneficent and the most merciful, the especially beneficent and exceedingly merciful. I thank Him, Tabaraka wa ta'ala, and praise Him for His bounties upon us, which are beyond counting and enumeration. I testify and bear witness that nothing whatsoever deserves true worship except Allah the Exalted alone, without any associate, which is the most important emblem of Islam in declaring the kalima of La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. I also bear witness and testify that our master, our guide, our model, our exemplar, our teacher, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, most distinguished servant of Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala. May Allah continue to show His blessings upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his household, his distinguished companions, and those who follow them in righteousness, and all those who in righteousness emulate them. May Allah make us be among them. Brothers and sisters in Islam, the theme of our sermon today centers thus: the scourge of poverty among Muslims and the immediate need to squarely fight it. All Muslims, all Muslims, all Muslims, preserve the honor which Allah Ta'ala conferred upon you. Preserve that honor and throw this honor not, throw this dignity not, by humiliating them and taking another path than taking the path of honor and dignity. For Allah the Most High says, indeed we have honored and dignified the son of Adam, man. We have placed him on earth and sometimes within the shores of the river in his commerce and business, and we have provided the son of man, the children of Adam, affluence in abundance, so that they look after themselves, and we have elevated in dignity their positions over many of the creatures. Allah the Most High says, indeed dignity and honor belong to Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Mu'minun. All of us, we have been dignified by Allah. We have a special spiritual honor granted to us by Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala. If somebody is an honorable member, you are also an honorable Muslim. If he's a distinguished person, you are also distinguished before Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, you should know that the most dangerous scourge, the most dangerous catastrophe crawling into the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, threatening their ability to have with them good life, is the scourge and epidemic and the catastrophe of poverty, which debased dignity, and caused humiliation, which also this scourge not only that sometimes weakens the iman of the believer, weakens the mental capacity to even understand or to even do correct things, and that is one of the side effects of poverty. You will not even be thinking right. That is, we have seen the fallout of this in our ummah. It throws them into the pits of all tribulations and troubles. May Allah Ta'ala save us. In this, the pang and the pangs of need and want, poverty indeed is so great, because dignity is lost, and that manliness is also lost. the way wise people used to say, may Allah Ta'ala deal with need and poverty. How many a times poverty bends one to the position of humiliation. Therefore, brothers and sisters in Islam, because of the danger of poverty, may Allah distance us from this scourge and sickness. But Rasulullah used to seek Allah's protection against poverty at the end of each obligatory prayers. Not only obligatory prayers, all prayers. You can see how many prayers we have. We have 5 times. Sorry, I said 17 times the other time. I was thinking of Surah Al-Fatiha and when I was giving the translation. Now 5 times after every obligatory prayer, Rasulullah used to seek Allah's protection against poverty, saying, "Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you against disbelief and poverty and chastisement in the hellfire." This clearly depicts and shows that poverty can sometimes drag one to disbelief in Allah wa ta'ala. There is an Arabic anecdote that it is known whenever poverty says, "I'm going to a certain location," kufr, disbelief would say, "Wait for me, I'm your friend, I'm your company, therefore we go together." That is why in this prayer of Rasulullah he might disbelief, kufr, and al-faqr, poverty. May Allah Ta'ala distance us from them. And in another widely separated kind of talk within the Arabs is that poverty is almost closer to disbelief. Poverty is almost closer to disbelief. Therefore, you don't think that you cannot match poverty to religiosity and feel you can be that religious. That is why Allah Ta'ala has never sent a prophet who was ball bashing, extending his hands. You know, all of you, if you read your Islamic studies, that it is even haram for a prophet to accept charity, isn't it? To Prophet Muhammad even though this is exclusive to Prophet Muhammad Brothers and sisters in Islam, the scourge and pang and pains of poverty within the Muslim Ummah, especially in the northern part of the country, is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. The statistics vary. Northeast, you can hear that some states is 98%. Northeast, some 78, some 80 something percent. All it is just unacceptable the way poverty is crawling and eating these Allah's conferred dignity upon us. Therefore, we really must rise to the occasion. I think we have not really done enough. We have to really teach people. We have to empower people. If we teach people and we empower them, we become safe. They will not give us trouble again. And it is indeed very, very important. Dashing just 5 naira, 10 naira, 20 naira cannot make somebody free of what? Until we have a calculated program of really bringing out this terrible disease from people of poverty. May Allah Ta'ala save us and protect us against poverty. Brothers and sisters in Islam, how can an ummah, how can a community with these soldiers of millions of beggars progress? In which way? And I tell you, it is the up and down syndrome. Of course, you can be up there, but if your people are down there, and you know, sometimes you are being translated that, of course, as they are this lowly, you are also lowly until we really rise to the occasion and do something. Brothers and sisters in Islam, what is more painful is that they are all over the place, in our mosques, in the streets, in the markets. Not only that, today on Sunday you can go to churches and see. They are all over the place. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. We must really do something. It is indeed very important. And it has become even so difficult that you are not able to sip the chaff from the dregs. Who is poor and who is not poor? Because everybody is becoming a beggar. The spirit of commerce, the spirit of self-dignity, the spirit of having to look for the means of livelihood in the companions of Prophet Muhammad is that directly to the market. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, who became one of the richest companions of Prophet of Islam, a migrant without anything to Medina. When people said, no, we can just live on ourselves, I said, no, direct me to the market and provide me with the economic will that you can take me, your own goodwill, can become part of my investment that I'll do until you became one of the richest persons among the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Brothers and sisters in Islam, one of the preceding righteous said, you either become self-sufficient or you die. You either become self-sufficient or you die. And that is only Allah. Nobody can enrich people except Allah. Seek for the means of livelihood from Him. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah the Most High praised wealth. Many, Allah praises it in the glorious Quran. He said, it has been mandated upon you when you see signs of death and that you have khaira. Allah calls money, wealth, khaira. If you have something that is khair, money, wealth, so Allah Ta'ala describes wealth. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what a beatitude, what a dignity, a dignified wealth to a dignified person. So said by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the Arab poets said, if the money being spent is the sand which we match, and you sit with your friend, always ask him, pick and give me, one day he will tell you, I'm tired. Pick it yourself. Pick it yourself. This is it. Therefore, it is indeed important. One of the other poets also said, you see this dirham, meaning this money you see, in all circumstances, is a cloth of honor and dignity to the one who works for it and gets it, because it becomes self-sufficient. It is an eloquence for whoever wants to speak eloquently, and it is a weapon for whoever wants to fight. This is medical. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we must rise to the occasion. Those of us who feel that somebody can go and walk and he can just become in levity, sit down and begin to come and ask, and all sorts of lies in our mosques, in our streets, so on and so forth. My mother is dead while his mother was not dead. I don't have the money for coffins. I don't have the pickup and so on. Sometimes if we tell them, come, we can provide the coffin and we can go to the place and we can provide, you find the man rolling and so on and so forth. It is important to become strong, self-sufficient, and we must really be open to Him in preserving our dignity and honor, which Allah Ta'ala granted us. May Allah continue to be with us. May He continue to guide us. May Allah relieve us of all painful moments, crying moments. Ya Allah, we ask you, in this country, to provide us peace and security. Allah guides these youth who have become so diabolical, so dangerous, kidnapping people, killing people, and so on and so forth. Allah give us the might and men to do what we are supposed to do in order to stop these menace. May Allah guide us right. May Allah answer our prayers. May Allah Ta'ala see us through. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.